we got this tent, an Inspired Overland tent, about 2 months ago, and we've already used it for probably 10 or 11 nights. Here this morning, we just got a lot of rain last night, so we figured this is the perfect time to do a rooftop tent review. First things first, I'm about 6'2", my wife's about 5'8", and she fits in it pretty good. This is the regular version of the Inspired Overland tent. I can, if I really stretch and put my feet in the corner, I can usually lay out pretty lengthwise, but I really wouldn't recommend it if you're going for just comfort in a rooftop tent. I wouldn't recommend it for probably anyone like over 5'11". I think 5'11" you'll be able to fit pretty comfortably and be fine, but it gets pretty cramped in there, like at me at 6'2", trying this with me and my wife both in there. So you see a lot of reviews that'll show you like how they open, where you can put the ladder. You can put the ladder on all 3 sides. This is just a quick overview. This is how we have our setup. So we have the 1.5 inch foam mattress that it comes with, and then we also put a sleeping bag in it, and we're able to close the tent up with the sleeping bag, so we don't really ever remove that unless like we're airing it out. There is a storage, you can see thing there, but we already took it off because it's junk. We hate that thing. Another one, you have a storage thing up here. We like this one. It actually like connects well, and it holds everything like phones, chargers, watches that we have and keep up here. So we got rained on a lot last night. It did a pretty good job at keeping the water out. But if you see here, right there in that corner, you can see a little bit leaked in. I assume that's just from our feet hitting it. It didn't affect us too much. I think it was like very minimal of what got in. So that's just something to keep in mind though if you're in like really rainy parts of the area. Now at 87 pounds, this is one of the lightest tents on the market. And that's one of the reasons it's so small. They do have an extra large version if you're interested in that. But it's not a hard metal clamshell tent. It's pretty soft canvas. I was worried about it because we go on a lot of trails like the Ozarks and like tight narrow forests where we are rubbing against branches and stuff. But it's held up extremely well. We do have one little tiny scratch, like rip in it. But that wasn't even from the forest or anything and the trees hitting it. It was when we were trying to put it on, we accidentally snagged it on something. And we were able to seal it up, and we haven't had any problems with that spot particularly. So as far as durability, I couldn't be happier with it for the price point. One last thing, if you do put the poles up for the awning sags. It's a pretty common problem that everyone who's had this tent, we're working on it right now. Most people just cut this seam open and then insert like an aluminum metal rod. That way it actually holds up and doesn't just like sag so you can't see anything when you're actually in the tent. But other than that, everything else you can find on different reviews, and this is just a really quick overview. The last thing we'll mention is the price. We got this on sale about 2 months ago, and with the sale, and we were able to pick it up just because we didn't have to pay for shipping because it was right next to our home where we were living at the time in Kansas City. I think we were able to walk away with this, like after tax and everything, with like just a little over $1,100, like $1,170, which for what you get with that, you can't not beat that price. So the next closest like on the market is about probably like $1,500, and it's not quite as good in my opinion